Will the House come to order? Mr. Clerk.
Aloha and good afternoon. Today's invocation will be delivered by Representative Kanani Souza. Will the members who wish to participate please rise?
Please be seated. Good afternoon, fellow colleagues. For we walk by faith and not by sight, 2 Corinthians verses 5 through 7. And I will add, we walk on the backs of our ancestors and our kupuna, a kuleana that is not taken lightly. My ohana going back generations is the reason I am here today. They worked and toiled to make the lives of their future generations better and for our lives to have purpose. Our kupuna often led by example quietly. My maternal grandmother, Mona Ha'aha'a Ka'apana Iaya, hailed from Ualapu'e Moloka'i and was the matriarch of our ohana who cared for and nurtured our family and instilled in us Hawaiian cultural values. But she never had a platform such as this. She did it through leading her ohana behind the scenes in the solace of our family home. Her and my maternal grandfather, Edwin Medeiros from Hilo, lived a modest life in Liliha. He was a supervisor at DAGS, and one of his posts was supervising the maintenance of this very building. They were both politically involved and would often help local candidates on both sides of the aisle, relying on character and credibility in determining who they supported. My grandparents had one miracle child, my mom, Julia, after several miscarriages, and 5 grandchildren, 2 of which are now elected officials, yours truly and my brother Keone. We are so blessed, and we are able to now harness all of the life lessons and cultural values that were instilled in us as we were growing up to help all of Hawaii's people. As we experience the struggle and the highs and lows and express true gratitude for the journey, The Weaver, a poem by B.M. Franklin, provides insight into walking by faith and not by sight, and in doing so, remaining ha'aha'a, or humble, like my grandmother's Hawaiian name. My life is but a weaving between my Lord and me. I cannot choose the colors he weaves so steadily. Ofttimes he weaveth sorrow, and I, in foolish pride, forget he sees the upper, and I the underside. Not till the loom is silent and the shuttles cease to fly will God roll back the canvas and explain the reason why. The dark threads are as needful in the weaver's skillful hand as the threads of gold and silver in the pattern he has planned. Mahalo nui.
Thank you, Representative Souza. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Ayu, Mr. Alcos, Ms. Amato, Ms. Bellotti, Mr. Chun, Ms. Cochran, Mr. Evslin, Mr. Ganadin, Mr. Garcia, Mr. Garrett, Mr. Gates, Mr. Hashem, Mr. Hashimoto, Mr. Holt, Ms. Hussey Burdick, Ms. Ichiyama, Mr. Iligan,
Excused.
Ms. Kahaloa, Ms. Capella, Mr. Kila, Ms. Kitagawa, Mr. Kobayashi, Mr. Kong, Ms. Lachika, Ms. Lamosao, Ms. Lowen, Ms. Martin, Ms. Martinez, Mr. Matayoshi, Ms. Matsumoto, Mr. Mizuno, Ms. Morikawa, Ms. Nakamura, Mr. Nakashima, Mr. Nishimoto, Mr. Onishi, Ms. Peruso, Mr. Pirik, Ms. Poepoe, Mr. Quinlan, Mr. Sayama, Ms. Souza, Mr. Takayama, Ms. Takenouchi, Mr. Tam, Mr. Tarnas, Mr. Todd, Mr. Ward, Mr. Woodson,
Excused.
Mr. Yamashita, Mr. Speaker.
Present.
Mr. Speaker, 49 members are present, 2 are excused.
Item 2, reading of the journal. Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, may this matter be deferred.
So ordered. Item 3, Mr. Clerk, are there any messages from the governor?
Mr. Speaker, there are none.
Item 4, Mr. Clerk, are there any Senate communications?
Mr. Speaker, there are none.
All right, members, we're on introductions. Are there any introductions? Representative Nakashima.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's my pleasure today to introduce you to the 132 Future Farmers of America, the FFA. Their national vice president is here. From North Carolina, McKenna Clifton. McKenna, will you please stand? Members, the school advisors and volunteers are here to practice civic engagement and bring attention to the Kahua Pa'a Mua program that provides professional development in agribusiness and regenerative agriculture, best practices for which they have applied for a legislative GIA. These outstanding young people are seated in the House Gallery. I'd also like to introduce you to the officers of the Hawaii FFA. Janela Gerardo, please stand when I call your name. Janela Gerardo, the president. Sean Valencia, secretary. Rona Dudalau, vice president and Oahu County from Oahu County. Rania Malay, treasurer and Hawaii County vice president. Mariah Kriebel, reporter and Kauai County vice president. And Ken Tupalan, Sentinel and Maui County vice president. You could give them a round of applause. Finally, Mr. Speaker, it's my pleasure to introduce you to the students from Hilo High School. The student advisor from Hilo High School, Anthony Pao, advisor. Please stand while I call your name. Tanya Abadilla, Bailey Burke, Rebecca Blanco, Emiko Saiki, Zachary Smith, Miley Wasserman, Amariella Wasserman. Welcome to your House of Representatives. And Mr. Speaker, if I may yield to my colleague from District 40.
Representative Martinez.
Good morning. It's my pleasure to introduce the Campbell High School. Please stand to be recognized. Campbell High School. Welcome to the House of Representatives.
Representative Capella.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It is my great pleasure to introduce members or students from Ka'u High School who are joining us, also from the Future Farmers of America. When I call your name, please rise. Lacey Ayi, Triton Blanco, Jacelyn Jara, Ezekiel Kava Kimimura, and their advisors, Kaveni Ibarra, Janelle Cardenas, and Jesse Denny. Welcome to your House of Representatives. Mr. Speaker, I yield to the representative from Kauai, District 16.
Representative Eveslin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's my pleasure to introduce the Future Farmers of America from Kauai High School. We have Olivia Bukowski, Zariah Bukowski, Chloe Kealoha, and their advisor, Ariana Bukowski. Welcome to your House of Representatives. And I'll yield to the representative from District 3.
Representative Todd.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today from Keau High School, we have advisor Terrence Moniz, students Jordan Delos Reyes Kaplan, Ellie Epperson, Shyla Huanayo Rosa, Oren Kuratsu, Trayson Rivera, Ty Silva, Asena Taukalau, and Crystal Toyama. Welcome to your House of Representatives. And I'd like to yield my time to the representative from District 8.
Representative Tarnas.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's my honor to introduce the Future Farmers of America from Kohala High School. I'll say your name, and if you could rise and hold your applause till everyone has been introduced. Advisor Dean Snelling, members Haley Kawanoi Galdonas, Christine Kimball, Natalie Majors, Kenneth Matsuda, Camille Pinho, and Daisha Tayen Germano. welcome to your House of Representatives. And Mr. Speaker, I'd also like to introduce a good friend, also from Kohala, also very active with the Future Farmers of America, David Fuertes. David, please rise. Mahalo for your service. Mr. Speaker, I would like to yield now to the representative from District 6.
Representative Kahaloa.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today we have several students representing the Future Farmers of America from Konawaina High School in my district. So I would like to introduce their advisor, Tina Alkane, Sherry Ann Furauchi, and Chalet Parong. Welcome to your House of Representatives. Mr. Speaker, I would like to yield to my colleague from Lahaina.
Representative Cochran.
Aloha, mahalo, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to take a moment now to recognize the Future Farmers of America students from Lahaina Luna High School. If you all could please stand when I call your name. I have Tangikina Fifita, Desmond Longai, Zarbi Niesman, Kayla Salmon, and their school advisor, Nathan Pallett. Aloha and mahalo for being here, and welcome to your House of Representatives. Mr. Speaker, I'll now yield the floor to House District Rep for 46.
Representative Pruso.
Mr. Speaker, I'm very proud and excited to introduce members and representatives from Leleho High School from our fantastic Ag and Food Systems program, starting with the advisor, Jackie Freitas, who's well known to many, Andrea Nakata, if you can also please stand, and then the students, Leah Bautista, Jean Kevin, Kamantong, Eva Cruz, Zoe Herrera, Easton Jen, Beverly Rose Mandak, and Taja Naktor. Welcome to your House of Representatives. And Mr. Speaker, I'd like to yield to the representative from Kahului.
Representative Hashimoto.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's my pleasure to introduce students from Central Maui today that are joining us from FFA. Please rise when I introduce you. Caitlin Madrid is the advisor. We also have Kawai Lehua Ka'ohohanohano and Makoa Keoma. Welcome to your House of Representatives. Mr. Speaker, I'd like to yield to my colleague from District 13.
Representative Poi Poi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In the gallery today, we have Molokai High School students and teachers with the Future Farmers of America. We have Kai Ward, who is a teacher, Emilio Makaladad, Joanne Nicole Bumatai, Quindin Bumatai, Damaria Braxton, Tyshawn Harper, Crystal Hoffman, Sage Dudua Hart, and Manny Molina. Welcome to your House of Representatives. I will yield to the representative from District 34.
Representative Takayama.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like you and our colleagues to meet the students from Pearl City High School, and they are led by their advisor, Jessica Storger. Please stand. Students are Lawrence Deal, Joseph Pomele, Savannah Santos, Autumn Storger, and Emmanuel Tuazan. Please welcome to your state capitol, and go Chargers. Mr. Speaker, I yield to my colleague from Waianae.
Representative Gates.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today in the gallery, I'm proud to introduce Waianae High School students participating in the Future Farmers of America legislature visit. When I call your name, please rise to be recognized. Starting off with their advisor, Ron Fitzgerald, Samantha Fitzgerald, Damian Adams, Sean Book, Amia Ito, Fapiolani Jesse, Jessica Cavello, Amanda McCoy, Brayson Meacham, Zaisha Ree Ballas Moses, and Zaria Nima. Colleagues, please give a warm welcome to these students and their program advisors. Welcome to your House of Representatives.
Representative Chun.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It is my privilege and honor to introduce the Future Farmers America from Waipahu High School. So when I call your names, if you could please stand and be recognized. First, they're led by their advisors, Sherry Tin and Kisa Matlin. And their students are Angelo Agarano, Royvalyn Arciaga, Dalen Calistro, Alexis Chong, Samantha Enciso, Ciara May Francisco, Michaela Hernandez, Janella Gerardo, Sean Monty, Mariah Quibble, and Ken Tungpalan. Welcome to your House of Representatives. Mr. Speaker, I yield to the representative from Waipahu.
Representative Lamasau.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have the privilege of recognizing students from Waipahu Intermediate, which is the only intermediate Future Farmers of America organization in the state of Hawaii. I'd like to call upon Ken Kazuma. So if I call your name, if you could please stand, if you can please hold your applause until all names have been called. Ken Kazuma, who is the advisor, and Aleza Alvarez, Jaden Kaskayan, Samara Aseret, Chloe Diaz, Emma Directo, Yanez Jaborno, Cassandra Galiza, Jason Garcia, Ednis Jalutan, Giselle Lazaro, Madison Martinez, Madison Miyasato, Nicholas Nishimura, Sophia Pogtilangan, Zarayan Pua, Kaylee Lauren Coronado, Lakeisha Quitong, Riley Subuko, Bella Tamayo. Welcome to your House of Representatives. Thank you.
So again, welcome to all of our future farmers today, and we will include all of your names in the House Journal, even if we missed you during the introductions. Representative Pruso.
Mr. Speaker, if I might make a couple of additional introductions.
Please proceed.
I'd like to welcome Rissa Liu and Ella Matsui from Project SOAR to the gallery today. They are student authors of one of the resolutions that we'll be voting on today. And they're also participants in the Keiki Caucus internship program. Mahalo.
Are there further introductions, members? If not, we'll take a brief recess, subject to the call of the chair. Recess. Right, will the House come to order? Members, we're on item 5. Representative Nakamura.
Mr. Speaker, I move to adopt Standing Committee reports numbers 1683 through 1727 as listed on pages 1 through 14, and that the accompanying House resolutions and House concurrent resolutions, as may be amended, be referred to their designated committees.
Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
Is there any discussion, members, beginning on page 1, SCR 1683 and 1684? Okay, next page, 1685 and 1686. 1687 and 1688. 1689 and 1690. Next page, 1691 and 1692. 1693 and 1694. Next page, 1695 and 1696.
Speaker.
Representative Ward.
1690.
1690.
1692.
Okay, please
If you
proceed.
may.
On 1691 and 1692. Representative Ward.
Mike,
Okay, members, we're back on 1695 and 1696. 1697 and 1698. 1699 and 1700. Next page, 1701 and 1702. Representative Garcia.
No vote.
So ordered. 1703 and 1704. Next page, 1705 and 1706. 1707 and 1708. 1709 and 1710. 1711 and 1712. 1713 and 1714. 1715 and 1716. 1717 and 1718. 1719 and 1720. 1721 and 1722, 1723 and 1724, 1725 and 1726, 1727. Representative Husty Burdick.
Mr. Speaker, no vote and brief comment.
Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This seawall is for the purposes of maintaining a private boat ramp for exclusive use and benefit of a private residence. There's no public benefit to this boat ramp. This property was last sold in 2021 at a cost of $1.5 million. Mr. Speaker, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. It has been proven that seawall hardening degrades adjacent properties and erodes the sand until there's nothing left. We cannot continue to harden and protect private property at the detriment of public beaches. Thank you.
Is there further discussion on 1727 or any other resol? If not, we'll take a voice vote. All those in favor say aye. All opposed say no. The motion is carried. Representative Nakamura.
Mr. Speaker, I move to adopt Standing Committee reports numbers 1728 through 1783 as listed on pages 14 through 28, and that the accompanying House resolutions and House concurrent resolutions, as may be amended, be adopted.
Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
Is there any discussion beginning with SCR 1728 and 1729, 1730 and 1731, 1732 and 1733, 1734 and 1735, 1736 and 1737.
Mr. Speaker,
Representative Prusso.
if we could go back to STANCOM 1734 and
Yeah.
35.
Yes, please proceed.
No vote, and I would just say that I don't think that increased police presence addresses the issue at hand. Thank you.
Is there further discussion? If not, page 1738.
Mr. Speaker,
Representative Capella,
sorry, also on 1734 and 1735.
please proceed.
No vote, please.
Okay, so ordered. Okay, page 1738 and 1739. Representative Garcia.
No vote.
So ordered. Representative Pirik.
No vote.
So ordered. Further discussion? If not, 1740 and 1741. Representative Ward.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise in strong support.
Please proceed.
First, I want to thank the author from Kalihi for this resolution. Secondly, I want to thank the representative from Waikiki for the rally that we had for the Ukrainians. Mr. Speaker, this resolution is a symbol of our unity with the Ukrainian people, commemorating what I think has become probably the 9/11 of Europe, and that's 2/24, when this unprovoked attack from Russia vis-a-vis Mr. Putin. I believe that this is an important resolution to remember because, Mr. Speaker, having been in the Foreign Aid Office at USAID and having been with the Ukrainians, jogged around the track in Kiev, the Ukrainians and Zelensky are the real deal. Mr. Speaker, they'll die before they're going to give in to Russia. Literally, they will die before they'll give their country up to Putin. So this is a good reminder of that. And I would only end with saying that let's keep the solidarity up and with the saying, Slava Ukraini. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Is there further discussion? If not, 1742 and 1743.
Mr. Speaker,
Representative Prusso.
can we go back to SCR 1738?
Yes, please proceed.
I just wanted to, in strong support, and I wanted to thank the authors of this resolution, who are students, a couple of whom have joined us today, but students from around the state who have been organizing on this issue for more than a year and a half and have become increasingly politicized in the conversations with their administrations at the school level and then also with the Board of Education. So it's been a remarkable experience watching them work, and I strongly support this resolution.
Okay, we're back on 1742 and 1743, Kimchi Day. Next page, 1744 and 1745, 1746 and 1747, 1748, 1749 and 1750, 1751 and 1752, 1753 and 1754, 1755 and 1756. Representative Garcia.
Reservations.
So ordered. Okay, 1757 and 1758, 1759 and 1760, 1761 and 1762, 1763 and 1764, 1765 and 1766, 1767 and 1768, 1769 and 1770, 1771 and 1772, 1773 and 1774, 1775 and 1776, 1777 and 1778, 1779 and 1780, 1781 and 1782, 1783. Any discussion? If not, we'll take a voice vote. All those in favor say aye. All opposed say no. The motion is carried. Representative Nakamura.
Mr. Speaker, I move to adopt Standing Committee reports numbers 1784 through 1788 as listed on pages 28 and 29, and that the accompanying Senate bills as amended pass second reading and be placed on the calendar for third reading.
Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
All right, discussion number 1784. Representative Garcia.
In opposition.
Please proceed.
Their mothers and fathers still exist.
Representative Perrick. No vote. So ordered. Representative Alcos.
No vote.
So ordered. Representative Ward.
With reservation.
So ordered.
Same request.
Representative Matsumoto. So ordered. Okay, 1785. Representative Garcia.
No vote.
So ordered. Further discussion? 1786. Next page, 1787, 1788. Any discussion? Representative Garcia.
Reservations.
So ordered.
Mr. Speaker.
Representative Kila.
No vote.
So ordered. Representative Gandon.
Same request.
So ordered. Representative Souza.
No vote, please. Thank you.
So ordered. Representative Lawton Basal.
Same request, Speaker.
So ordered. Further discussion on 1788? If not, we'll
Mr. Speaker.
Representative Holt.
No vote, please. Thank you.
So ordered. Representative Poi Poi.
No vote.
No vote. So ordered.
Mr. Speaker.
Representative Tam.
In support and permission to insert written comments.
So ordered. Representative Gates.
No vote.
So ordered. Further discussion? If not, we'll take a voice vote. All those in favor say aye. All opposed say no. The motion is carried. For the motion to suspend, Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, I move to suspend the rules of the House in order to consider certain Senate bills for third reading by consent calendar.
Representative Garcia.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
All those in favor say aye. All opposed say no. The motion is carried. Representative Nakamura.
Mr. Speaker, I move to adopt Standing Committee Reports numbers 1789 and 1790 as listed on page 29, and that the accompanying Senate bills pass third reading.
Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
Is there any discussion? Member 1789. 1790. Any discussion? If not, we'll be taking the vote. Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, on the measures before us, all majority members vote aye.
Representative Garcia.
On the measures before us, all minority members vote aye.
Okay, members, have all votes been cast? If so, said Senate bills pass third reading. Members, on page 30, please note that these measures have 48-hour notice. We're on page 31 for third reading measures. Representative Nakamura.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the Senate bills listed on pages 31 and 32 pass third reading.
Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
Okay, members, any discussion beginning with SB number 9, SB 1513, SB 487, next page SB 179, SB 1372. Any discussion? Okay, if not, we'll take the vote. Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, on the measures before us, all majority members vote aye.
Representative Garcia.
Mr. Speaker, on the measures before us, all minority members vote aye.
Members, have all votes been cast? If so, said Senate bills pass third reading. Or on item 7, are there any announcements? Okay, if not, the chair has one announcement. Members, please remember that today is the lateral filing deadline for House concurrent resolutions that need to move to their final committees. Please file your committee reports and drafts with the Chief Clerk's office by 6 p.m. this evening. For the motion to adjourn, Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, I move that this House stand adjourned until 12 o'clock noon tomorrow.
Representative Garcia.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
All those in favor say aye. All opposed say no. The motion is carried. The House stands adjourned until 12 noon tomorrow.